welcome back to Stringer Than Fiction. Jonathan Stringer here, and I have another book haul video. These seem to get a little more interest in my reviews, which I'm not going to dictate my content based on that, but it does seem more people watch these, so I hope you enjoy. This one's cool. It's most of it is a trade with a local friend, GenericEric. I first met him through Whatnot as a fellow buyer, and then I became a seller, and he's bought from me some as well, and found out he's fairly local to me. We're both live in the Houston area. However, Houston's a big city. I live kind of far from him, but he does live near my work office, so maybe a few times a year or every couple months, Eric gets his extras and is like, hey man, I got a bunch of extras ready for you, ready to buy some. So I've bought some inventory and some collection items through him. It's mutually beneficial. He gets more money than trading them in at half price books, and I get good inventory from a fellow collector that I can either keep or sell. And so it's kind of a win-win setup for us, given that he's has no interest in becoming like an eBay seller or Whatnot seller or what have you. So, and then as we all know, books take up a lot of space. So that's usually why he upgrades some and gives me his old leftovers. But anyway, the way I got this haul, he watches my videos, also a viewer, so appreciate you, Eric. And you saw those cool Tanith Lee hardcovers I got from the Half Price Books haul. It was the last haul, I think, yeah. And it's like, dude, I've been looking for those. You want to sell them to me or trade them or something? I can't remember if he offered to do a trade or me, but I know he had some books ready to sell me. So I was like, well, why don't we just do a trade instead of money? So we agreed upon a stack, and then he came and even threw some extras in. It's like, hey, I threw these in. I've tried to pay him. He won't take any, so maybe I'll get him back on the next one. But so I did trade those Tanith Lee Flat Earth hardcovers. They're probably worth somewhere between $90 and $120. Pretty nice shape, maybe. I'd say I would have listed them on eBay for probably $120, $125, and then seen what kind of offers I would have received. But very cool set. So, and I already had one, so I'm glad to help his collection out. And then I got probably even more or a little more value out of that back in books. Now, having one or two more expensive items is usually preferable to a bunch of cheaper items, even if they add up to a little more, just because the shipping, the space, all that. But no, this is really good inventory, and I think I'm even keeping a few books. So let's get moving. Before I get to his stuff, I did have a couple Whatnot and eBay lots to share. This is a pure flip by, has the old first printings of the original Weiss Hickman Dragonlance Chronicles set. So this is book 3. Book 1, unfortunately, it's got the little nick in the corner. The spines aren't too bad. So not perfect, not minty, but I think they're $20, $25 on eBay, which I know nice sets sell for close to $100. This set, maybe I get 40, 50, double my money almost, or get a little bit out of it. So we'll see what happens. And these I got, I know I got some from TileC, which I've shown before. Can't remember if they were two different. I think they're two different auctions of his, but I think I'm keeping almost all of these. The New Atom, A Sphere UK by Weinbaum. I've heard really good things about Weinbaum. Creepy, cool cover. But I haven't read any of his books yet. I have a few. So that's it's going in my collection. A really cool Dell Michael Coney. And it's just funny, I got another one of these in the next haul. So sneak preview next haul, another one of these Coneys. It's going to be a cool one. I found a bookstore in a very small town outside Houston area. No AC, old building. So pretty cool. Unfortunately, I don't film like inside yet, or maybe, I don't know if I ever will. If you guys hear me heavy breathing and bending down, grabbing books on the mic, it's probably not very appealing, but and I was just sweating in there. But anyway, I don't want to spoil too much of the next book haul video, so that'll be some of that coming. I have another Coney, Neptune's Cauldron. This is was it Belmont? Oh no, Tower. I think Belmont and Tower merged later. I don't know. So I like that cover as well. Get a chance to look at that. My wife told me I don't leave the books up long enough, and someone else, Tony, told me that as well, so I'll do a better job of showing you these cool covers. I got a Panther, The Lurking Fear, and Other Stories by H.P. Lovecraft. Lovecraft covers are really cool. I do have this Lovecraft collection already, but a UK Lovecraft, it's hard to pass on. I love the UK's books. Another one, a Corgi, Intangibles Inc. by Brian Aldiss. Cool art on these, and you can see that I bagged them up, so sorry if there's a little glare or not, I can't tell, because they are going in my collection. And then a couple other Conies, which is going to be hard to get the matching one. I think this is book 1 and 3 of this series, but they're both Orbit UK, the Celestial Steam Locomotive. Cool. And a matching Fang the Gnome in the same edition look. So it'd be really nice to get a full matching set. Any of my viewers have the one of the other, maybe there's 2, I think there's 3, have book 2 in this livery, let me know. I would probably be interested in buying them. So now to the Eric haul. I think everything else is from Eric, and if it's not, I'll mention it. But anyway, another set of these X-Wing books. It's not a full set. It's a book 9, 8. These are all from Michael Stackpole, who I know more from Battletech writing. And then books 1 through 4 of the X-Wings. I'll just show them real quick. I mean, it's Star Wars stuff. You kind of know what it looks like, right? They look like X-Wings on the cover and other spaceships. I'd be tempted to read these. I had a set of 1 through 4 already and just sold them on eBay recently. I've read the Thrawn Star Wars, and I like Star Wars. It's great. I mean, I watched all the movies. I'm kind of getting tired of it, and I could go on and on. We could have a discussion, Star Wars discussion, but speaking of Star Wars, here is an original trilogy hardcover. Modern. It's got some issues. It's got a little tear in the cover and a ding on the corner, but I don't think this was supposed to have come with a dust jacket. I think it's supposed to come like this. Is this one of those Barnes & Noble? No, it's a Books A Million. So yeah, it's like one of those bookstore mass-produced hardcovers. I don't think it has a ton of value, but it's a hardcover. It's got this. It's not a bad to-read copy since I enjoy reading hardcovers. I got the year's Best Science Fiction 27th edition by, I think, Gardner Dozois is how you say his name. So I've had the hardcovers of these actually in my Whatnot show just on a couple days ago. Actually yesterday, Saturday night. I sold someone 6 different versions of the year's Best Science Fiction, but they were the hardcovers. I think like 18 through 23, I believe, is what I sold. So it's funny that I get another one in, but it's not the hardcover. Here is 1 year after. Or was it Fortune? Yeah, William R. Fortune. Or Fortune, I don't know. I've read, or I listened to audiobook, this one and the first one. I think this is a sequel, right? It's 1 second after, 1 year after. And then they have a third one. I read the first 2. It's pretty good. It's kind of it's in a town where an EMP blast just basically takes out civilization in the U.S. and how are people coping and what's surviving. It does kind of have a boomerish tone to it, if you will. It's not so bad as some of the prepper type stuff. It verges on a little bit of that, but not really. So it's one of those where I love post-apocalypse, but so much of that is also this weird prepper, like, they get really excited over some of that. And I don't enjoy that part of it so much, but I don't know. I like post-apocalypse. This was good, though. I enjoyed it. It's good, not great. Some Tolkien hardcovers. The Legend of Sigurd and Gudrun. Haven't read anything else by Tolkien but the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. And then we have the Children of Hurin hardcover. Pretty art on the back with the eagles. Gordon R. Dixon Book Club Edition. Masters of Everon. Pretty art. You know, I've said it a bunch of my Whatnot shows. Yes, book club addictions. Book club editions are lower quality. Yep, not as good paper. Not especially the 60s and 70s, maybe 70s. Yeah, 60s too, late 60s. The dust jackets tear so easily. However, I have a soft spot for the art. I think the artwork on it sometimes are some of the best versions. I'm not going to say that with any level of shame. I do strongly believe that. So, all right, let's get to a few more. I do collect these, but I already have this one. It's Tau Zero by Paul Anderson and the SF Masterworks. So those usually are pretty popular and whatnot. And so are these, the Best of Jack Williamson. I have a copy. I'll have to see which one's better. This one's not bad. The cover art's okay on this, but these are pretty collectible. I think there's another best of in here as well. Yeah, the Best of Robert Bloch, which I did not have. I thought I did. I guess I didn't. So it's going to go on my shelf with the best ofs. Though, I just sold the Best of Malmsberg after I read it, and I guess I shouldn't since I'm collecting the best ofs, and that one's kind of be hard to replace, but oh well. Martian Chronicles, Ray Bradbury with the Bradbury face covers. Lauren is collecting the Bradbury faces, but I'm pretty sure she already has this one. And a Tour Double number 2, Greg Bear, Hard Fought. Timothy Zahn, case in point. I'm not a fan of the Ace Doubles. I'm even less a fan of the Tour Doubles because they have to put the barcodes over one of the covers. I did have that Belmont double, which I like a little more because it was like cut in the middle. So the front cover had both. And just to me, organizing those on my shelf and my list, maybe it's my ridiculous need to organize, but it just doesn't fit right in there. So it makes me not want them. Here's an interesting little Dover Thrift edition of Time Machine. It seems this has to be abridged, right? It's only set. Is Time Machine only 76 pages? It just seems small anyway. It's almost like a little pamphlet size. Weird. And another tour double. This one is John Varley, Tango Charlie, and Foxtrot Romeo. Which, yeah, that's a name. And a Delaney, the Star Pit. It's got a little creasing on it, but it might fetch a few dollars. I just sold a Swan Song, but here's a modern Tall Boy paperback. Not as big of a fan of these Tall Boys, and the art's not quite as cool, but this could be a good reader copy to have and not mess up my really nice paperback. It's probably behind my shoulder or head here, because they're so thick they crease. It'd be really hard not to crease it. So I may hang on to this just to read it, or maybe I'll Kindle it or something. I don't know, but I've heard it's a lot like The Stand. Some people like it better. And while I haven't read The Stand, I watched the show and I enjoyed the show. And like I said, I enjoy post-apocalypse. So I have a feeling that might be the McCammon for me for sure. Mickey Spillane, The Bypass Control. So this is not science fiction. It's like a spy thriller from the 60s. Sexy spy, kind of James Bondish. McCaffrey, Dinosaur Planet. I've heard this one's good. No interesting art on the back. Barry Longyear, Enemy Mine. This is tour double number 6. And then John, it's from the movie. And the movie cover looks similar, I believe. That side face. And then John Kessel, Another Orphan. Looks kind of probably, maybe fantasy? No, it's by science fiction. It's like a modern guy with pirates. So, this one had a little more value than the others. Maybe it's a little less uncommon. Here's probably one of the BAF's Ballantine Adult Fantasies I've seen the most. It's Voyage to Arcturus by Lindsay. Love these Ballantine Adult Fantasy covers. They are just amazing. All of them. But I already have that one. So that'll sell. New Worlds SF number 147. This is a UK... It's like kind of like those science fiction magazines, or maybe it was, and this is the paperback version. Someone who's more informed on these can let me know. I think I have a couple of these because I collect Moorcock. I don't think I'm going to keep this one. No, I don't think I want to collect all these, but he edits these little books. Stargate Retaliation. Again, this is one of the throw-ins. Bill McKay doesn't really have a lot of value. You know, unless you're a big Stargate fan, this will probably be like a $1 or $2 book I sell. And then, man, Eric has sold me a lot of Heinleins, so I think he constantly upgrades his Heinleins. But here is, love the art on this one, Between Planets. I've not read a Heinlein yet. I need to read him. I know he's kind of polarizing these days. Back in the day, he wasn't. He was very popular. You know, one of the grandfathers of science fiction, but now a lot of people don't seem to care for him as much. And this is Citizen of the Galaxy. I'm really not as interested in checking out his YA stuff, but I for sure want to read Starship Troopers, which I love the movie, and I know that they're not very well related, but maybe I'll like the book too. There's that Time for the Stars. This is a newer 80s feeling book. 6 by H, or 6 cross H if this is Japanese. I have a really, really cool, or I did, cover of this. This one's not quite as impressive. Mr. Movie adaptation himself, ADF, Alan Dean Foster with Kroll, sorry. Awful 90s movie. Conan ripoff. It was. I was so disappointed as a kid because I thought that was going to be so awesome. Dalmas the Regiment. This is the Bane military sci-fi. There's some fans of these, but they're not big sellers. So probably a $1 or $2 book. I'm going to show these together. I don't know much about this series. I've seen it before. I've heard about it. But it's V. I think this is the original. But it's a UK TV show by A.C. Crispin. I think this is the first one. And then the Chicago conversion by Geo Proctor. Another in the V series. I think Eric's was collecting all of them, and these are his extras. And the Alien Swords Master. So again, gonna sell those. I don't have any connection to the show. It may be great. I've heard good things, but too much other stuff to go after. Just a few more. Another best of Hal Clement, funny cover. Bunch of his short stories. I already have this one. It might be better than one I have. I'll have to double check them against each other. Brunner, Born Under Mars. Decent shape. A little hinge creasing. I'm going to save the best one for last. There's the big one at the end. So you probably think, it's like, well, this is decent, but this doesn't add up to $120 yet. And probably not. But the end will show a little better. So this is the Feast of St. Dionysus. I have a lot of Silverbergs. I somehow do not have this one. Where I do now. I didn't have this one. So this will go in the collection. And then this is a cool, I don't know if I'm going to collect it, even though I don't have this. Silverberg, Sailing to Byzantium, Tour Double again. And on the back, I like this. I like the font. What is this? 7 American Nights by Gene Wolfe. That font's pretty cool. I do like this. Something about this art. But then the art gets ruined by this. I saw one guy that had a hardcover of this with the art on Whatnot once. He was wanting a lot of money for it, but I think I'd prefer to get that copy of that book. And then last 3 books. These are cool. I mean, they're a little worn, so they're not going to be super valuable, but The Well at the World's End, 1 and 2. Am I showing these together? No, sorry. They go together. So, I have these. These aren't super clean, but they're not tore up. So, someone will want them. And the big money one, this is the second time I've gotten this book, and both times I got them from Eric. He's found these twice out in the wild, as we like to call it. I have yet to find one, and he found it here locally. It's a copy of Star of the Unborn. This one is a better version than the one I got, or a better condition than the one I got from him last time. I wouldn't say it's quite minty, but it's easily VG, maybe VG plus. Probably VG. being very strict, but on the good side. So, I know the Book Pill loves this book. That's maybe why it's as collectible as it is. I don't know. Having a hard time deciding if I want to keep it or not, but we'll see. Probably gonna end up selling it just to recoup the costs and the other stuff for the trade. But all in all, thank you, Eric. It was a great trade. Appreciate you, buddy. It's always fun having someone to talk books with too, as well as meet up, do some trading or buying and replenishing, giving me content to talk about on YouTube. Hopefully you get to enjoy me showing off all of your old books to everyone and being excited about them. So coming up next, I just posted my review for Morningstar. In that review, I mentioned I'm listening to The Grimm Company, maybe because I like to like on audiobook. I'm reading Bernard Wolfe Limbo by Bernard Wolfe. It's going a little slow. I need to push at that. I was sick last week, so I was out some, and you think I should have read more, but I didn't for whatever reason. And then I have the haul I talked about. So I found I'll tell more of the story, but it's a small town bookstore, probably about a 45-minute drive from my house, and I'm already outside the city limits of Houston area. And it was about a 45-minute drive from there. Place I'm going to go back again, had a whole bunch of stuff. And I may even have a little picture of the building I'll show, but that's going to be the next haul. That'll be pretty exciting. There's some good stuff in there. Nothing like, this quite expensive or the Tannis, but more just everything was kind of solid because I get to spend some time and pick through it all. Other things I want to talk about, if you watch this far and you like any of these ideas, I still want to do the Black Company overview and just kind of give an overall synopsis of that series. And I guess I need to do the YouTube thing and start talking about like my top 10 series and top 10 books. I don't know if I could do that for science fiction. There's too many authors that are well regarded that I haven't touched yet. But for fantasy, I could probably do that, like my top 10 big series. It's probably not going to be anything too outrageous or whatever. Some of them are very popular series. But I could probably do a solid top 10 on that. I've read a lot of science fiction, but I'm not quite as well versed in the heavy hitters and some of the must-haves. So, and then I still need to do like a tour of the library and some of my collection. Obviously, I have so many now that to actually show a lot of the books would take too long if I wanted to do an in-depth shelf tour. But if it's just the way the room looks, I could do that easy, or do like sections of it's different video. But so I have so much content I can tap into that I feel kind of it's not really even by design, where I've done a review, book haul, book haul back and forth with maybe a few exceptions. So maybe it's some different content to mix it up and add some different aspects to the show. But again, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the book haul. Thanks again to Eric, and I'll catch you guys later when I get another video recorded sometime. See you. Bye.